Yeah, I'm sure you can hear the clicking. I'm trying to figure out this. Fucking... They've kicked me off of X. How about... They've kicked me off of X. I've been kicked off of X. What the fuck? Are you serious right now? Really? We're gonna do this right now, are we? We're gonna do this right now. I'm talking about how they're suppressing our message and we have to push it out there. I'm talking about how they're suppressing our message and we have to put it out there. And then they shut down the fucking stream and now I can't go live on X. Are we serious right now? It doesn't matter though. I don't have any internet now, so I'm now using my phone data just so they can't get that. Are we serious? I'm talking about how we get suppressed and they stop our message from being able to get out there and we get banned from platforms and they shut us down and then I get booted off and now I can't go live on X. We serious? Fucking sly bastards. That's not going to stop me, though. That's not going to stop me. I wasn't born yesterday. I'm not that much of a fucking coward that I'm just going to give up straight away. That's serious. That's crazy. That is crazy. That's the fucking gayest thing that's ever happened. That is so... This has happened before. Every time I talk about something like that, it just does the same thing. It does the same thing. Well... That's ridiculous. Are we definitely back though? Because now it's just completely cut off on like certain platforms. Fuck it, from the top. Who cares? I say from the top. But as I was saying, before I got pushed down and now the viewership's just completely crashed and I can't go live on X because of whatever fucking platform decided to do that. At least we're back. As I was saying, before I was censored, we are in a system where they oppress people like me and prevent our voices from getting out there. The fucking irony. The fucking irony. They prevent our voices from getting out there. So the best thing you can do is push out the content in any other way, shape or form. Through clips, through sharing the stream, through sharing the profile. What the fuck? All right. All right. That was ridiculous. That's not a coincidence. That's not a fucking... I'm not hearing... That's not a coincidence. That was... We were already on 400 viewers and they've just... Boom. Dead. Whatever. Oh, don't tell me it's gone again. Someone just said about that. Are we definitely back? Someone just tell me we're definitely back. I can't even be asked. I can. I'll do it anyway, but... I apologize about that, everybody. I do apologize about that. I apologize about being censored for a second there. I apologize about being cut off for no fucking reason. Back. No, okay, here. Okay, good. All right, as I was saying, they like to censor people like me and cut me off the internet. So the best thing that you can do is clip the show, push out the content, share the profile, and make sure that this message is getting out there because it's the truth. And then they cut the show and took me offline and now blocked me from going live on X. So what does that tell you? What does that tell you? It's almost like there's some truth to that. It's almost like what I was saying is exactly what they've just fucking done. So I do apologize about that. You see how it never happens? That never happens on any other episode that I've done 3 streams already. This is my 3rd stream this week. Other 2 were perfectly fine. I did 3 streams last week. All of them perfectly fine. The second a riot happened, and the second I'm saying that they're trying to suppress people online because they're calling us agitators and far-right commentators, spreading hate and division, and they're trying to censor us, then all of a sudden, it's just gone. Then all of a sudden, they just do it again. Then all of a sudden, mysteriously, very coincidentally, it just happens where I just get cut off. So, Welcome to modern day Britain. Welcome to our state where they just don't want people to talk. This is how it goes. This is actually how it goes. This is how it's going to go. As I was saying, I will take the arrows. I will take the bullets. I'll take the legal system. I will take the police. Whatever. I will deal with it. Just push out the content because this is what they do. This is genuinely, it's dirty tactics. It is dirty tactics. It's scummy. It's evil. It's pure evil. So. But what do I need to do? Maybe I need to start talking about like getting high and peace and unity and cosmopolitanism. Maybe that's what I need to do. Maybe that's the way forward. Maybe I'll just turn into a hippie. Maybe that's the way that I prevent myself from getting censored. But anyway, we'll get on to what I actually wanted to speak about today, which was the response to what happened in Belfast last night. And we all woke up to the videos from what had happened last night, with a lot of houses set on fire, a lot of cars set on fire, a bendy bus set on fire. I don't know what the bendy bus did, but the bendy bus was set on fire. We actually saw part of that at the end of the stream yesterday on Sky News. All auditors were banned. I heard this. All auditors were banned. They were going around telling auditors to put the camera away or snatching the camera off them if they had it. So it was a very intense situation. It was a very intense situation. Tempers were high. Tensions were high. There are more protests planned tonight. I think there's one in Dublin. There's another one in Belfast. And what we've seen the responses so far, we've had people like Keir Starmer come out saying that he's calling for peace. He's calling for calm. That anyone that broke the law will deal with the full force of the law. They will deal with the full force of justice that comes their way. Now, I find this funny. They're always willing to give people the full force of the law whenever it's somebody standing up for native rights, whenever it's somebody standing up against an immigrant attack, whenever it's somebody standing up for the British people. You know who they're not willing to give the full force of the law to? You know, the Pakistani rape gangs that they covered up using the law, or the migrant deaths. The deaths at the hands of migrants, which they hide the identity of. They hide the identity of these migrant killers. They hide the identity of these savages. They hide 66% of all of the ethnicities in crime reporting in a lot of these cases, especially when it comes to sexual assault cases up here in the north. They found this in Rotherham, that they hid 60% of all of the ethnicities from the people involved in the rape gangs. We all knew it was Pakistanis, but they hid that. Why are they hiding that? Oh, they're scared about public backlash. They're scared about what we're going to say back to them. And this is how it is. This is how we continuously see it, is they will hide it whenever it's a brown person that has committed the attack, whenever the perpetrator is foreign, whenever the victim is white, they will always hide who has committed the crime against them. But the second it's white people standing up for the other white people that have been a victim to the brown people, that have been a victim to the non-white people, to the black people, whenever it's that situation, the government's response is to blame the white people. Keir Starmer comes out today, he blames the far right for what happened in Belfast last night. He says they're spreading hatred and division. Now, I don't know what's spreading hatred and division. Is it the far right standing up for the native Englishman? Or is it the Sudanese animal trying to behead an innocent man on the streets of North Belfast? I don't know what's spreading hatred and division. Is it the far right standing up for the young little girls that have been raped up and down this country in an organised crime fashion, which has been covered up by the government, by the courts, by the police, by the communities, by the councils? Or is it the brown men raping little white British girls and saying that they deserve it because they're white, torturing them, giving them PTSD? Is it the far right that are standing up for the little girls? Or is it the African savage known as Axel Rudabakana butchering 3 little girls at a Taylor Swift dance concert? Is it the far right, or is it the killers of Lee Rigby beheading him on the streets of London? Is it the far right? Or is it the African man on the Huntington train stabbing 11 people? Is it the far right? Or is it the Afghanistani migrant stabbing and killing Wayne Broadhurst in broad daylight? Is it the far right, or the fact that even now the terror watchdog has come out and said that immigration is a public safety concern now? Is that the far right, or is the division and the hatred coming from the foreigners, the invaders, the savages, the animals that are in this country, that are killing us, that are raping us, that are butchering us, that are pillaging our towns, that are replacing us, that are enclaving themselves? You tell me, Sama, you tell me, what is the hatred and division coming from? Is it the people that have had enough of watching their fellow Englishmen, their fellow Irishmen, their fellow Scotsmen, their fellow Welshmen suffering at the hands of these people? Can we even call them people? Probably not. They don't deserve to be called people. Suffering at the hands of these savages. Is it the far right doing that? Or is it the foreigners? Is it the invader? Is it you, by upholding these systems that allow these people in here? Is it you that has openly admitted that we're becoming an island of strangers, but then still submitting, taking the knee to these big foreign gangs? You tell me where the hatred and the division is coming from. You tell me why you're surprised that we are divided, why we're surprised that when we watch time and time again, day in, day out, week in, week out, white man killed for being white by a foreigner who hates white people. And then you wonder why we don't want to be around these people. I quite respect my safety, so I usually don't hang out around Africans, all right? That's the truth of it. Is that my fault? Is that my fault because I watch people like Ayana be stabbed, because I watch a man be almost beheaded on the streets of Belfast? Is that my fault? Or is it the fault of these savages that have this behavior that put us in danger? Is that my fault for having pattern recognition, or their fault for continuing this behavior, this reoccurrence of their behavior? Whose fault is that? Is that my fault or theirs? You tell me. Oh, it's my fault because I don't actually want to be around these people, because I actually quite respect my life. I like being alive. I like not being beaten up. Like that poor white schoolboy near Swindon that a few months ago was beaten up by a gang of black students for the simple reason he was in the wrong place at the wrong time and he happened to be white. So what about that? Is that my fault? Is that my fault I don't want to be around these people? Or is it your fault for allowing these people in, giving them a passport, telling them, giving them the arrogance to think they're the same as us? And then their reaction to that is pure hatred, pure revenge from colonialization, pure hatred because of the Zionist expansion, the Jewish expansion of Israel in the Middle East. A lot of these Muslims, these Middle Easterns that come over hate us because they see us as complicit within that. So you tell me which one it is. You tell me who's creating the hatred and the division. Is it the white man trying to go about his life, or the foreign forces that have been thrown onto him and are responding with violence, or responding with hatred, are openly bragging that they will replace us, are enclaving themselves away from us and spray painting on the walls of Allen Rock, no whites after 7, 8 p.m. You tell me who's the one at fault here. Because frankly, I have a feeling our reaction is not the cause of hatred and division within this country. I think it's the symptom of it. It's the symptom of being a hated people in our own land. It's the symptom of being oppressed by our own governments, by our own systems, by the own education system, by our laws, which predominantly harm white people more. The reaction is the symptom of systematic failures. So when they sit there in Parliament, all smug on their nice paycheck, demanding more money from us, when they're sat there probably all living in gated communities with nice houses in very white areas, looking down upon us, saying that it's our fault, it's the far right's fault. How dare they react like these? How dare they be angry about their situation when they act so smugly about it? Somebody eventually is going to have to stand up to these bullies, and that's what they are. They are bullies, and say, you know what, fuck you. Enough of your oppression of us, enough of your bullying towards us, enough of you trying to demean to us what is hatred and division. You're the ones dividing us. You're the ones importing hatred. You're the ones that are pushing down the white man. You're the ones that are hating on the white man. You're the ones that are genociding the white man. You're the ones that are giving into the Kalergi plan, giving into the big systems like BlackRock, like the WEF, like the World Health Organization, like the UN, that frankly hate white people. You are the ones at fault for that. And then when people have enough, when tensions flare too highly, and you see the reaction that you saw out of Northern Ireland last night, and we can condemn the violence, and we can condemn the arson, and we can condemn the bad things, but as I'm not going to condemn is the anger that people feel. I'm not going to condemn the rage that people feel about the damage that you are inflicting upon them. And it's really arrogant and it's really snobby when you read all of these responses from the government and their responses blaming the right wing. Most of these people, probably not even that right wing. A lot of them are probably just centrist. A lot of them probably just want a secure future. A lot of them probably just care about the future of their kids, about their living standards, about their own livelihoods. A lot of them do not want this situation that's been unfolded. I've said this before. There has never been a time, never, not one single time, where the British people have voted for a party that has had more immigration in their manifesto. It's never happened. It's never been there because nobody wants it. And they can deny that this anger doesn't work. They can say it doesn't change anything. We just need calm. But even today, they've now put out more policy to crack down on illegal migration in Northern Ireland. The government there has put forward policy to crack down on illegal. Why would they do that? I thought these kind of actions didn't help. I thought this anger from the native population was a bad thing. But when they actually do it, when they actually show that they are mad, when they actually show that they are going to be defiant, when they actually stand up as a community and they say enough is enough, well, all of a sudden, this government that's told us to back down and to be submissive and to not give in to hatred and division, all of a sudden, now they're going, well, actually, we will put forward policy to crack down on migration. We will start looking at it. The terrorist watchdog comes out and says that immigration as a whole is a security threat. And I literally said this yesterday. I said it's a domestic threat to the British people. And now the terror watch list today has come out and said that it is a domestic threat to the British people. I wasn't making that up. You don't need to be a genius to figure that one out. That's observable. Everyone can see that. And I think one of the most gruesome examples of that, which I didn't share on X because I didn't want to be disrespectful to the poor guy's family, but was the pictures coming out of the hospital of the Belfast victim, where his face is slashed in multiple different spots. It's all over. I don't know how to describe it, and I'm not saying this to be humorous, I'm not saying this to make a joke, but he quite literally looks like Leatherface. It's that bad. And I don't say that nicely. That is me saying that from a distressed point of view, from a point of view of anger. He is so badly hurt, it quite literally looks like something out of a horror movie. And the poor guy was already disabled. He was already vulnerable. He's now lost one of his eyes. And they're suspecting that he's going to be fully blind when he wakes up. He's still in critical condition, but he's still alive. And that image was gruesome. That image was the staple of migration. That is the poster for what it does. That is exactly where it leads. It leads to our people being butchered in their own streets. How many more pictures do we have to see from these attacks? Do you remember the Southport attack? Do you remember seeing the picture of the little girls on the floor with blood everywhere? Little girls, not even teenagers, tiny children on the floor with blood everywhere. Do you remember the Manchester Arena bombing? Do you remember seeing those photos back in 2017? Do you remember watching on the news the scenes from there? People splattered everywhere, all over the floors. Blood everywhere, smeared all over the arena. Body bags, white covers over bodies. And I don't say that to be gruesome. I don't say that because I'm trying to make you feel sick. I say that because that's the reality. This has been going on for far too long. 13 years ago, they publicized video footage of Lee Rigby's killers with Lee Rigby's head and body on the floor, with the killers with a machete, with a cleaver in his hand, covered in blood. And we're told not to look back in anger. Every single time we see this imagery, every single time we see another little girl on the floor bleeding out from an attack by an animal, every time we see the footage of somebody like Wayne Broadhurst being stabbed to death in broad daylight, every time we see the footage of Lee Rigby's killers, every single time we see somebody on the floor being beheaded on the streets of Belfast, we're just told, don't look back in anger. We're told we have to accept it. That's diversity. We're a tolerant society. We're told that that's fine. You just have to accept that. How about no? How about no? They're calling for calm. They're calling for calm. Do you remember when it was the BLM riots? They didn't call for... You remember they never came for calm? They never called for calm. Ever. They never once called for calm. You know what they called for? They called for the end of white privilege. They called for the dismantling of white institutions. They called for equality between the races. They called for the end to oppression against black people. They called for the end to police brutality. They took the knee on camera, publicised it, put forward laws that would look after them, donated millions to these pro-black organisations, made the leaders of BLM rich, had the police take the knee for them, virtue signal to this mob of thugs. They never called for calmness. But when it's on the other foot, when it's white people that chimp out, when it's white people that have had enough, when it's white people who are the actual ones being oppressed. There is no such thing as oppression against black people in this fucking country. There is no such thing as white privilege in this country. There is no such thing as it. It's bullshit. It's never been a thing. It's never been a thing. But it's the white people that are being oppressed. It's the white people that are being killed. And now, when we've had enough, now we stand up for our native rights. People like me get told that we're inciting it, even though I've not done anything to incite it. I've just said the white man should stand up for themselves. The white man should have the ability to exist in their own country and to not be replaced. How the fuck is that incitement? But when it's the white man that stands up, when it's the white man that has enough, then it's be calm, stop looking back in anger. You will face the full might of the law. You will face justice for what you've done. How about you face justice for what you've done? How about every single politician is tried for treason? How about that? That would be justice for what's happened. And their response, and Ed Davies' response, is talking about suppressing free speech on X. And Keir Starmer is saying, oh, just be calm. This is not the time for calmness. How is being calm going to solve anything? I'm not saying go out there and burn down cars and burn down houses, because I don't believe in that. I'm not endorsing that. But I'm saying, you shouldn't be calm. You should be fucking angry. You should be pissed off at these things. What is wrong with saying that? What is wrong with saying that we should be angry? We have the right to be angry. How are we supposed to demand change if we're not angry? I get that you hate white people. I get that the system hates white people. I get that the police force will happily handcuff a young white boy, let him drown in his own blood and just deny any injuries to him. I get that. I get that it's built against us, but we're just told not to be angry. Well, fuck you. Because this is our future. I've said this before. This is our future. This is everything that matters. If the government's not working for us, then we have to work for ourselves. And if that means grassroots organizations, if that means going against the status quo, if that means removing ourselves from these communities and enclaving ourselves like they do, building up our own society. They've already started it in Wales. They're building white-only communities. If that means that kind of thing, separating ourselves, building a form of Ulsterization, then so be it. If you're not going to look after us, we'll do it ourselves. If you're not going to stand up for the native right, we'll stand up for ourselves. We'll build our own communities. Because that's what it's heading to. That is the reality of the situation. That is the reality. And I've said this many a time. They've tried to lie. It's the illegal migrant. It's the illegal migrant. It's just Islam. No, it's not. It's every migrant. It's not just Islam. It's everybody that hates white people. It's everybody that hates white society. Everyone that hates white civilization. Everyone that hates us. White civilization is the pinnacle of the world. We are the top of the pyramid. We are the best. We are the golden standard. We are the diamond that you find in the mine. We are everything these third worlders wish they were. There is nothing that tops our society. There is nothing that tops who we are. There is nothing that tops what we've built, what we've become. And when they're trying to sit there and push us down further, eventually the white man will stand up, because the white man has built the world. The white man owns the world. That is the truth. You can deny that. You can say that everybody owns the world. It's bullshit. It's not. It's never been true. It's never been true. The Africans have never owned the world. They've never done anything. Especially the sub-Saharans. They've never done anything. They don't own the world. The white man owns the world because the white man made the world. These people are jealous. It's a form of jealousy. It's a form of revenge. That's what it is. All these inventions, they came from Brits. All these achievements, they came from the white man. Medicine, white man. Mathematics, white man. Robotics, white man. Technology, white man. Industrial revolution, white man. It is the white man. So how do you expect us to just kneel down and die? How do you expect us just to accept our doom? How do you expect us not to react badly when we're being slaughtered? We know our worth. We know who we are. We know what we've achieved. We know what we can achieve. We know what we can overcome. We know why we are so successful. We know what our ancestors did. We know who they were. We know what they fought for. And you want us to remain calm when you are trying to remove white civilization? That's what they're trying to do. You're trying to remove white civilization. Without white civilization, the world will collapse in on itself. The world cannot survive without white civilization. It cannot survive without it. There's no excuses about it. They make excuses all the time. You stole our resources. You enslaved us. You enslaved yourselves. Africans enslaved themselves and sold each other off to Jews. Nothing to do with us. The white man gave you your rights. The white man ended slavery. The white man brought forward civil rights, human rights. It was the white man that gave you your privilege. And then you throw it back in our faces. Oh no, they enslaved us. It's all their fault that we are just low IQ morons that can't build anything. There's a reason you've never achieved anything. Because white society is what keeps the world spinning. That's why white lives matter. That's why we're pissed off. That's why we're defending our society. That's why we're standing up for the future races. Because without us, everything else falls. Without us, everything that these invaders think they can achieve will collapse. They can't maintain. They can't succeed. They can't advance. They need us. We are the pinnacle of the world. We are the pinnacle of human evolution. We are the pinnacle of human society. We will always be the pinnacle of it. And without us, everything else collapses. Without us, everybody else dies because they won't sustain themselves. It will fall into tribal warfare. It will fall into racial warfare. It will fall into theological warfare. It will fall into the Jews trying to build up the third temple and rebirth the Antichrist. It will fall into the Muslims trying to build up Islamic caliphates and dominate the world through force, because Islam was built. It's not a religion of peace. It was built on conquest. It will fall into the tribes, like, for example, the Indians and the Pakistanis, the Punjab are not fighting one another. It will fall into the South Americas with their drug cartels turning on one another. There will be no world without the white man. And if you can't see that, if you can't accept that, if you wonder why we're mad that you're trying to remove that, then you're ignorant to the problem, or you're just plain evil and ignoring it. That's why. Anyway, that was like an hour of ranting. I know we got cut off in the middle. But together that was like the hour of the show. I do apologize that it cut off during the middle. That was really annoying. I don't know why they did that. So, but yeah, let me get onto the chat. I want to quickly pull up. I saw there was a super chat earlier. Let me grab this. Hold on. I'm being retarded again. I'm always retarded. Again, no media team right now. Hold on.
Cents. In 50 years, we will read in the history books of how horrible racist Belfast rioters evicted thousands of migrant families on the eve of June 9th, 2026.
No, I don't think we will. In 1,000 years, if the white man's dead, they can't fucking write, so there won't be any history books. In 1,000 years, if the white man's perished, if the white man's been replaced and extincted, there won't be any history. They can't fucking write. They can't write. They can't record. There was no written language in sub-Saharan Africa before we turned up. We taught them that. There will be no history books because they can't do it themselves. They need us to do it. There will be no history. They won't even know what the white man was. It will just have been extincted. They need us for everything. They always have. They only ever had oral tradition. That's not offensive. That's history. You can look it up. So there will be no history books. The only people that will know of history are probably the Jews. That's the way it's always been. It will probably be the Jew. Apart from that, everyone else will just be kept in the dark. Everyone else will be kept in the dark. So they need the white man for that. They need the. But thank you for the £50 donation. I do appreciate it. I do appreciate it. Honestly, if you go to Makerfield, let us know. I'd love to come say hi. I live 2 minutes from the centre. I will put it in the Telegram if I end up going. I'll put the Telegram. I'll put all the links in the in the chat, just so everyone can join it. We're building up the community. You get to see the ranting on there. There's a lot of ranting on there, but I'll put all of these in it now for you. Hold on. How do I fucking? Oh well, just go on this link. I'm okay. I can't even get the thing. If you want it, go on that link. That will take you to the links for every single platform that you can find me on. It's onto the Prioritise Britain thingy-majig. If you go on that, I'll just pin it. I'll just pin it. There was never any white. Yeah, they will do that. They will just say there were never any white people. Of course, that's what they'll do. Of course, that's what they'll do. They're already trying to do that. They're already saying that there is no Anglo group. There is no English people. Your ethnic group doesn't exist. You're a formation of different ethnic groups, so it doesn't actually matter, so you don't exist as people. They're already saying that race is not real and that there is no difference in race, which is complete bullshit. They're already doing it. They're already trying to make you extincted. They're already trying to remove your identity. This is not a hidden secret. They've been doing this for ages. They've been doing this since the end of the World Wars. Since the end of nation states, since this understanding that everything is values and civil liberties and cultural. Since they've been doing that, they've been trying to remove who you are. So yeah, apparently Anglo-Saxons were black. Yeah, bro. We was Anglo-Saxons and shit, man. Hey, man. Hey, man, we were Normans and shit. Hey, man, we were Celts and shit, man. Hey, man, we were drinking tea and crumpets and shit, man. Hey, man, like they're far. You know what I mean? They're retarded. How can you join the Telegram? Go onto that link, the one that's pinned. It's the Prioritise Britain one. That you can go and find all the links there to everything. I'll download Telegram base, Patreon. Appreciate it. Cheddar Man. Hey, man. Cheddar Man, man. Hey, man. We were Cheddar Man and shit. We were Cheddar Man and shit. Have you seen the Cheddar Man's closest relatives? They live in the same fucking village. They're white. They're all white. That's it. They're all white. Bro just had a bad tan. That is not even proven. This is just like what they assumed Cheddar Man looks like. This is what the study about Cheddar Man has been critiqued multiple times, saying this is not accurate. It's an assumption. There is no evidence that Cheddar Man was black. And he had blue eyes. Africans don't have blue eyes. My Chinaman voice is so much better. Oh, I can be from China. We are kings on the shit, man. We are Tokarika kings on the shit, man. I tell you the way. I like the Chinese. I've said this multiple. I live around the Chinese people. They live in my my area. I live around a lot of Chinese people. They're nice people. They are nice people. Discord link, please. It's all in that. Go on that tweet. You'll find it all there. They already tried to manipulate ancestry tests. I'm sure of it. Well, do you know who owns the ancestry companies? Would you be surprised if they're all owned by Israel? If most of them operate out of Tel Aviv? Oh, sorry, Iria. True. Did you see Nick give you a shout out? I did see Nick give me a shout out. I told you this before. I like Nick, right? I get what he means. Us British are quite well, are we? I don't know. Are we sarcastic? No. I've never been sarcastic in my life. But no, I did see Nick give me a shout out. W Nick, right? I like Nick, right? This is the special relationship that they mean. This is the American-British relationship that they mean. We are, you know what? Nick is my homie. Nick is my boy. I know Nick gets a lot of slack from the British Nationals, but I'll stand up for him. Nick is my boy. Nick is my boy. He's my homie. He's my nigger. He's my American nigger. He's my American nigger. I'm his British nigger. We are what the special relationship should be. That is how it is. He's the Roosevelt to my Churchill. He's the Reagan to my Thatcher. He's the Reagan to my Thatcher. But he called me the GOAT. I thought that was based. He's my GOAT. Nick, you're my GOAT. This is an open love letter, right? Romeo and Juliet. Nico and Juliet. Something like that. I don't know. But Nick is my nigger. So I'm fine with that. I'm fine with that. Yeah, I saw that. It was funny. I got sent some edits already about that. That was quite funny. Look, that's how it is though. We just got to keep it real. So yeah. But yeah, I did see that. I woke up to that. I had a lot of DMs. I was like, who the fuck? I was like, why is everyone DMing me? I was like, something happened in Belfast. I thought something had happened in Belfast. Like somebody had like set off a bomb or something. I was like, oh shit, it's gonna be like the worst news in the world. And it was just clips of Nick calling me the GOAT. And I was like, my nigga. My nigga. That was funny. That was good. Thank you for that one, Nick. True patriot. The only American I can stand. Most Americans are really fucking annoying. So, yeah, most Americans are really fucking annoying. No problem, Beans on Toast. Thank you for sticking around. Yeah, most Americans really do piss me off. I've met a few of them before. When I was in London, there was a lot of Americans. Holy shit, I wanted to slam my head against a fucking brick wall. They're the annoying ones. They're the ones that you just can't fucking stand. They never shut up. Americans never shut the fuck up. I'm like, please. Talking about y'all, do you say the soccer, y'all? Like, shut the fuck up. Honestly, maybe they shouldn't have free speech. Maybe they should have their vocal cords cut out. Maybe they shouldn't have free speech. I don't know. Can I say that? I don't know if I can even say that. I might be in trouble for that, but it's true. Y'all, you want a cheeseburger, y'all? And it's like the most greasy fucking thing you've ever seen. Like, it's literally dripping. But I like Nick. But me and Nick get on. Nick's the one American. Nick's the one American I can... Actually, no, that's a lie. Benny Basil as well. These are my list of Americans that I like. It has to be Michael Lionheart. He's annoying, but he's the top one. Michael Lionheart, Benny Basil... Nick, I get on with Elijah. Kevin Deanna, he's nice. Preston, I get on with Preston. Who else do I know that's an American that I get on with? I'm probably offended some Americans that I'm friendly with. He's Canadian, that doesn't count. Anyway, I've still not forgiven them for 1776, so... I've never spoken to David Duke, but anyway. Gavin McInnes. I've never spoken to Gavin McInnes. We follow each other on Twitter, but I don't know. You like Trump too, really? Okay, well, I'll tell you this. This is my opinion about Trump. I think that politically, especially like the war in Iran, it's been retarded and it's been bad for the American people. But the guy does have aura. I do think he's funny. Like telling people like quiet piggy and shit. That's funny. And like I like how he's bitchy towards all the news and like he's an arsehole to the news. But apart from that, his policy's meh. So I don't know. Did I see those scam ads with Nigel punching people? Yeah, I did. I don't understand that. I didn't get that. Handsome Truth. Me and Handsome Truth have had... how do I put this nicely? I'm not a big fan of just going on Omegle and just like, screaming at people. I'm just like, okay. Like, if that's what he finds entertaining, sure. But he kind of just like... Oh, Paul Miller. I like Paul Miller, actually. Me and Paul get on. Paul's a nice guy. I spoke to Paul. Paul helped me out a few months back. He's a nice guy. I like Paul. But yeah, Handsome Truth, he's like quote tweeted me before, being like, this faggot needs to drop Christ. I'm like, no. Handsome Truth just going, hey man, he's got like a fucking AK or something. What is that? An M16 or something? I don't know guns that well. And he's just sat there like with a monkey filter on, or like doing a gay filter on, being like, hey man, hey man, look at me, I'm Handsome Truth. I'm role playing and I'm pretending to be a black man, and I'm just gonna call everybody that I see a nigger and call it. I'm just like, okay. Like, to me, that's just like boring. I'm just like, okay, what does that do? Like, what? I get it's entertaining to his audience. Clearly, they're a fan of it, but I'm just like, it's just dumb. I don't like being like, look, I always say this. These people are different to us, obviously, but I'm not going to be harsh to them. I don't believe in being harsh. We should stand up when things like Belfast happen and be angry against the government and the system that's put them here. But I'm not going to turn around and just, start slurring at people and like being an arsehole to them, because most of them are just like getting on with the day anyway. Most of them are just like normal people. They don't agree. They don't like us behind their backs. I get that. And I don't like being around a few of them, but I'm not going to like go around, slurring at them. I just think that's like primary school. That's like a Call of Duty lobby. You know what I mean? So, yeah. Alex Jones. I've never spoke to Alex, but I know Handsome Truth's getting more popular at the minute. The things that I think that he did, I'll give him a compliment. The thing that I do think that he did that was good was like going into like council meetings and talking about, like the media being controlled and the orthodox practice of directorial suction. That was good. That gets my respect. I'm like, you know what? Fair enough. You're doing something about. You're actually, proving something. Sitting on Omegle shouting at people. Sneeko. That guy's a fucking idiot. All I ever see from Sneeko is he's complaining and then changing religion. Changing religion constantly. See, Nick makes comments about your politics. Yeah, me and Nick get on. I've been saying this for a while. I like Nick. I've defended him in the behind the scenes on like the British nationalist scale. Me and Nick get on. Anyway. Trump has Scottish roots. No proof he's a diddy. I'm not saying he is. I'm saying I don't trust his background. I don't trust anybody in that position's background. Can I say bottle of water? Yeah, I can. There you go. Bottle of water. What would I do if I was in charge of America in terms of deportations? Well, I think that what Greg Bavino didn't do was he didn't target blue states. Why are we not in blue states? That's where they're at. You'd go full force military, ice on the ground. You would go round them up, deportation centers, speed up the processes. I think Paul's calling me. You can wait a minute. But yeah. Right, I'm going to leave it there because I'm getting a phone call from Paul. I'm going to have to call him back. So I will be back maybe tomorrow. We're going to do 4 shows this week. 4? How many shows this week? You want 4 or 5 shows? How many shows are we thinking about? 4 or 5? 4 or 5? Oh, we might do 5. Can I do an entire week worth of shows? I don't know. Yo, I appreciate that. Thank you very much to the Groypers. I do like the Groypers, all right? I do like the Groypers. Anyway, if you want to support me, you can follow me on all channels at the Hugh Anthony. If you're on YouTube, make sure you like, subscribe, hit the notification bell. You can find all the links to my platforms below. You can find the website if you want to pick up some Prioritise Britain merch. You can find it all there. You can find the link to the Telegram and the Discord on the Prioritise Britain X account. That link is attached on the YouTube. I'll be back tomorrow. 7. We're not doing fucking 7 shows. Be serious right now. I'll be back tomorrow. I want to talk about Iran and Israel. I want to talk about it, please. No more animals attacking people for one day. I guarantee you something's going to happen, though, so we'll see that. But I appreciate everyone tuning in. Mary, thank you for modding. Thank you for the super chats tonight. I'll be back tomorrow. Make sure you take care of yourselves. Remember, take care of yourself. God bless, and prioritise Britain.
Hugh Anthony. No offense to the GOAT, my GOAT, Hugh Anthony.